Hey, how you doing? Joey Roth, back on the beat. Wizard World 2021 Chicago, and I am here with Dr. Travis Langley, PhD. It looks like you have some wonderful books here, different kinds of psychology books with different kind of genres. I see you got Black Panther, Doctor Who, psychology. What made you come up with something with the different kind of psychologies with all the different kind of canons?
Oh gosh.
I know, big question.
Well, it is, and it's a lot of things that came together for me one summer. I was teaching a psychology and literature course. Some of the persons who thought they had retired, and the students were learning so much more psychology than any of us expected through talking about these literary figures. And when I went to Comic-Con, I thought, I need to write an article about Batman. Within a year, I had so many ideas. I had to write a book about a Batman. So it started with Batman, because if you're going to write about the psychology of a superhero and his enemies, you gotta start with Batman.
If anybody has any kind of psychotic needs or whatnot, it's definitely Batman. The poor guy's been put through a lot with all these people.
He has issues.
He has a couple of issues. I like it.
And after it did well, actually it has done well every single week for 9 years.
Really?
And then other people wanted to contribute. So the others are anthologies, me and other psychologists or therapists of different kind, looking at different aspects of different issues with different characters. So we're talking about real human nature, but through these characters as the examples. So like you can talk about PTSD with a Walking Dead character, and that might not make somebody as uncomfortable as when you're talking about with a real life human being as the example.
True.
So sometimes the fictional example helps somebody stay with you and get the point of what you're talking about. More so than some cases of talking about real people, even though we are talking about what we know about real people.
It's true. That is true. I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, so I'm definitely interested in The Walking Dead psychology. You got to figure, if you put yourself in the shoes of these characters, the other characters and whatnot, you got to feel the PTSD these guys go through after seeing family members being chewed up or shot or murdered or whatnot like that, and that's just an everyday occurrence with something like that.
Yes, and if you're talking about, say, the psychology of people who live in a combat zone,
right,
that's a disturbing, unpleasant topic.
Because you don't know what tomorrow brings.
And you can't exactly have fun with that. But we can talk about that same kind of psychology with those characters in a different way.
That is very interesting. I'm also looking forward to the Star Trek one. Of course, wearing Shatner going into space and everything like that. That's
astronaut Captain Kirk.
That's astronaut Kirk. So I think there's a lot of psychology that goes into something like that as well. So, but now we're off this pandemic stuff. Hopefully, it's going to be winding down. Did you find it easier to create during that, or
no?
Really?
No.
Are you one of those people like just stare at the computer screen and just go blank?
No. It was more the chaos of the publishing industry.
Oh wow.
Book publishers were having a really hard time. Book publishing itself was down because of supply chain. There weren't people cutting the trees. If they're not cutting the trees, they're not making the paper. And so it was a very chaotic time for the publishing industry.
I never really thought about that.
So we wound up with a gap in our books.
Oh, really?
And now we're back to work, but we wound up. Well, the next one is the second edition of the Batman book will come out in the spring. It's been 10 years.
Wow.
And so I've got it's all kinds of Batman stuff throughout his whole history, but people want me to talk about the Affleck version and Gotham, and even some people want to hear something about the Titans version.
There's so many different avenues you could go down with the Batman anthology and story that you'll be writing for a very long time, and that's a very good thing.
My editor commented, it's like, I see you updating this one every few years. It's like, yeah.
Another version, you can just add, hey, volume 2, volume 3, volume 50.
Well, the last one that came out before pandemic was about the Joker.
Oh,
the Joker psychology, evil clowns and the women who love him.
I like that.
And people have been asking for a long time if I was going to do one on the Joker.
That's another issue you can write volumes of. All the different kinds of things. So hey, why don't you let everybody know your social media on Facebook, Twitter?
I am at Superherologist on Twitter. Just look for Travis Langley on Twitter or Facebook. I am easy to find.
Cool. Well, Doctor, I really appreciate it. We'll give a little fist bump there. Thank you so very much. Johngy's on the beat. Wizard World.